Talk therapy is also known as psychotherapy, a method addressing mental health through verbal communication. The talk therapy sessions is usually with a trained therapist that works with individuals, couples, or groups to explore their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. The goal is to promote emotional healing and personal growth. Some of the key aspects of talk therapy is understanding your emotions. It helps individuals better understand their emotions. A lot of people that have disabilities, disabilities, they have all of these emotions and they don't understand them. They don't understand why they're feeling certain ways about something. The talk therapy actually helps with that. Identifying roadblocks. So therapists will assist in identifying obstacles that will have issues with your mental health. Stress management will also help with that, helping cope with your disability that you have. A lot of people have stress. Stress affects people in different ways. There are a lot of people that can't even handle stress. I happen to be actually really good at handling stress. I have a lot of stress coming my way, and I tend to take a lot of deep breaths, and I try to manage it the best way I can. There's also breaking unhealthy habits, lifestyle changes, finding your triggers, pinpointing them, overcoming anxiety and insecurities. I suffer from anxiety and depression. I tend to get extremely anxious during tests. I also get very anxious if I know that I have to go to a place where there's a lot of people that I don't know. I have learned for myself, if I take deep breaths before I go into the area that I have to go into that have a lot of people, I can kind of manage my anxiety a little bit more. I've always had insecurities, physical insecurities. I don't like the way people look at me. I feel like I'm judged all the time. So being able to kind of own up to your insecurities, understand them, and then try to find ways to manage them a little bit, or kind of overcome them in certain ways. I'm still working on that. I've been working on it for years. Talk therapy often is said that it doesn't work as good as medication or other types of treatment. I actually think that talk therapy works quite well. But that just depends on the effectiveness of the person that's getting therapy. You can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped. So I feel like if you go in with an open mind, wanting to find a way to help the situation, I feel the outcome would be a lot better. At the core, talk therapy allows a person to discuss their concerns, their goals, their challenges, with a person that doesn't hold bias and they're not judging. I tend to feel judged a lot, so I want to go to a person where I know that I'm not being judged for my thoughts or what I'm thinking about. After the series of sessions, talk therapy should help the person target and eventually change patterns of thought and behavior that may be a hindrance to their health of mind. I agree with that. I've had a lot of different types of therapies, talk therapies, and they've either helped me or they've even changed my perspective or the way that I go about thinking about certain things. So I feel there's so much to talk therapy. It can help in so many different ways. The first one I want to talk about is humanistic therapy. I was actually drawn to this one. I found it quite interesting. client-centered therapy. It's focused on self-awareness, empathy, and personal growth. It encourages self-awareness through direct experiences and interactions, it explores existential questions and meanings of life. I feel like this is also a very like a homeopathic or a holocaustic type of therapy. It's considered more natural therapy, and I actually like that. I like the aspect of that. I feel like not a lot of people look within and ponder on what's going on within. It often uses techniques like role playing, reenacting scenarios, and reflective listening to help clients. Like you might have there might be a client that is asked to visualize a person that they're having a conflict with, sitting across from them and then carrying a conversation. Like that's something that would be beneficial to some people. This can also help reinforce what the client is saying. It allows them to reflect on their own work and clear up their misunderstandings. Another type of therapy is the psychosomatic therapy. I thought that was kind of interesting. Patients examine past relationships with their dependent behaviors, where they are encouraged to discuss these behaviors and the effects of their self-image and their interaction with others. I thought that was interesting too. They explore different views of themselves and others by managing negative emotions and developing a healthier relationship pattern. So I'm thinking that this one has a lot to do with the past, thinking of what happened in the past that could trigger different issues. A lot of people don't think like genetics, different things that happened in the past, trauma. A lot of that has to do with different disorders. And I feel like this type of therapy will help with that. I happen to be a writer, so I journal everything. I write everything down, which makes it easy for me. I have stacks of journals, and sometimes I like to do a little self-reflection, and I like to go and look at really old ones that I've written and see what at a particular time or a day, how I was feeling about something, and I can reflect on it. Journaling is like one of the best things I've ever done, and it was one of my talk therapists that had suggested it. I would never not do that anymore. I've been journaling for over 25 years. I've even gotten my daughters, because they're both have depressive and anxiety issues, as well as bipolar. My other daughters are, but they all journal, and it helps them tremendously. And there's also times when they actually take their journals to their therapy sessions, just so that they can recall or remember what they're trying to say instead of trying to think of everything on the spot. So I think that talk therapy is quite essential in the process to figuring out who you are and how to suppress and figure out the type of disabilities you have and personality disabilities you have, and how you can make the things better and work for yourself.